Shabbat Shalom. What a week. We celebrated Shavuot, ate maybe a little too much cheesecake, and went from winter to summer. And it reminds me, around this time last year, we were preparing to go into the studio to record our Temple Israel album, With One Breath. And on a day much like today, swelteringly warm, we arrive at the studio. Larry August and the Avalon crew come. We're scheduled to film our music video, Hine Matov, and there's no AC. I mean, there's nothing. We walk in the door, we begin filming, schwitzing, singing, schwitzing. And you know what? It didn't matter. Because we were there together, brothers and sisters, joined in the cause of celebrating Shabbat in our music, and there was so much joy. And so we share again with you now that special video on that special day, Hine Matov, Shabbat Shalom.
שברחים גם יחד, 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 שברחים
Shabbat Shalom. It's been a beautiful week, and we had the opportunity last weekend to celebrate Memorial Day with our families and get out a bit in a beautiful weekend. And now as we are preparing for this Shabbat, we are about to light our Shabbat candles, hopefully bringing light into the world and allowing the summertime to continue with great blessings. Join together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. We wish you a weekend, a Shabbat filled with light, with love, and with blessings.
Lecha
Greet the Sabbath bride. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Traditionally, one is to repeat the words of the Shema over and over again until one has reached a state of kavanah, intention, spirituality. And so in a morning service, you will see some Jews pull the prayer shawl over their heads, over their eyes, in order to concentrate more deeply on these sacred words. It says in the V'ahavta prayer, which is part of the Shema, that these words can be as frontlets before thine eyes. And so we can access that ancient practice by closing our eyes and imagine that we are reading those words of the Shema from God's most sacred text, which of course is you, as we sing together the words of Shema.
Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad. Baruch, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam, Le'olam, Le'olam va'ed.
לעולם ועד.
Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength. Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength. With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. With all your heart,
with all your heart,
with all your soul,
all your soul,
with all your mind,
all your
with
mind,
all your strength,
all your strength,
with all your heart,
all your
with all
heart,
your soul,
all your soul,
with all your mind,
all your mind,
with all your strength.
all your strength.
Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Love the one your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength.
When we reach the Michamocha in our service, we often recall Nachshon. Nachshon was the first Israelite to step into the waters before the seas parted and the Israelites walked on dry land. So often we return to him because his is the story of faith that he would be able to cross safely. I often look at my kids to show me what faith means, because sometimes they overcome their fears easier than we do. There's actually a book called What If Nachshon Was Afraid to Swim? I'd like to share the story with you when he overcomes his fears. Nachshon stepped slowly into the sea. The water rose from his toes to his ankles to his knees to his waist to his shoulders to his chin to his lips. Nachshon repeated silently, "Face your fears, have faith." Just as the water was about to cover his head, a miracle occurred. Moses lifted his staff to the heavens, and a strong east wind pushed the water back, creating a dry path through the sea. All the Israelites joined Nachshon and walked with him to freedom. We sing the Michamocha together.
Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder b'kodesh, Nora tehi lo rosef eleh, Nora tehi lo rosef eleh. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, Hokei hayam lifnei Moshe, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai, yai lai la la lai, yai la lai lai ya la 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai 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 ya la 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai, yai lai la la lai, yai la lai lai, yai lai 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 lai.
The Hashkivenu prayer asks God to watch over us while we sleep, while we're at our most vulnerable. Now, the melody we're going to sing tonight, written by the band Ma Tovu, is actually a melody that I used to sing growing up at summer camp every summer. Summer camp for so many young Jews can be that Sukkot Shalom, that shelter of peace and security and safety. Now, with everything going on in the world right now, camps across the country have decided that for health reasons, they cannot safely operate camp and they're not going to be running sessions. And that's left the youngest of our community feeling hurt and afraid and vulnerable without that place, without that Sukkot Shalom to return to every year. So we're thinking of them especially and sending them a lot of love and positive vibes as we join together in the words of Hashkivenu.
השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake in morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We all know you don't need a prayer book necessarily to connect with God, but sometimes it's not that easy. So for this next chapter of prayer, called the prayer, or Hatfilah, I want you to allow yourself to turn your thoughts inside, to place your hand on your heart, to close your eyes, focus on your breath, or perhaps on the images and words over the next few moments, allowing the music to wash over you. Give yourself permission to create the space to feel that connection as we continue with personal prayer.
Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ואמרו אמן אמרו אמן אמן עושה שלום שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום הוא יעשה שלום הוא יעשה שלום שלום עלינו הוא יעשה שלום שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו הוא יעשה שלום הוא יעשה שלום ואמרו אמן שלום עמך ישראל ואמרו
I recently called a friend to see how he was doing. Having celebrated his 90th birthday, he told me that he and his wife were both doing fine. Not satisfied with that answer, I said, well, tell me, how are you really doing during this crisis? How are you managing? He paused for a moment and then responded, I have decided to focus on those aspects of life that truly make me happy. I've decided that I will focus on my blessings, for my mental health and my physical well-being are clearly tied together. And what I think about in some way impacts how I face each and every day. In a moment, we will join together in the blessing Misha Berach, a prayer for healing, a time when we think about those members of our family and friends who are in need of that special blessing that comes from God, from our feeling connected to them. So as we sing that prayer, thinking about those we love, look forward now to the time when we will be with them, when the blessing of our relationship will be real once again, when we will be able to give them the hug that we so yearn to share.
Sheberach avotenu mekor haberacha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor haberacha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of say Amen.
My brother and I were at Sinai. He kept a journal of what he saw, of what he heard, of what it all meant to him. I wish I had such a record of what happened to me there. It seems like every time I want to write, I can't. I'm always holding a baby, one of my own, or one for a friend, always holding a baby so my hands are never free to write things down. This poem by Merle Feld really hit me in the gut. This week we celebrate Shavuot, the giving of the Torah, typically with our confirmation class, but alas. In our sacred text, we learn that before the Israelites could receive the Torah from God, Moses said to the men, "Be ready in 3 days. Do not approach a woman." Women were forbidden, exiled from the moment. After fleeing Egypt with their children in their arms, having survived slavery, the horrific plagues, walking through the sea, wandering through the desert, still, they were absent. The poem speaks to me as a woman for whom Judaism is so vastly important. The words of Torah, my guiding light as I move through this world. It speaks to me as someone who has to read into the text to see myself, to interpret and add, to dig up modern midrash to hear my voice written into our stories. Men bore witness, and men wrote the text. But we women never stopped watching and listening and waiting for the moment when Judaism would be wholly ours. And today, at least in our movement, after pushing and screaming and studying and teaching, we are here. We've arrived. We are rabbis and cantors and educators and lifelong learners, equal to men in every way, if not in our sacred text. And yet the poem nags at me as a mother, on Zoom call after Zoom call, pausing the camera to help a child with a glass of water, to kiss a bruised knee, or to break up a fight. It seems like every time I want to write, I can't. I'm always holding a baby. And to be honest, holding the baby is as sacred, well, far more sacred than the meeting. Holding the baby is as sacred as receiving the Torah on Mount Sinai. This Shavuot, I am torn between sorrow and joy. Sorrow at having to dream and vision and add and rewrite in order to see myself. And joy at the privilege of womanhood, of motherhood. Grateful, so grateful to have been born into my body. And so this Shavuot, we celebrate, we mourn, we hope, we learn, and above all, we live with the challenge and the honor of being part of this holy people. It is the challenge, it is the struggle that makes us who we are. Shabbat Shalom.
We are from the garden, we are from the flood, we are from the angels singing, all you need is love. We are from the mountain and the hope blowing on the wind. We are from the Holy One within.
I am from the Great Lakes. I am from canoe trips and campfires. I am from do unto others as you would have done to yourself. I am from a home where the door is always open.
We are from the wandering, we are from the dream, we are from the fight to understand what freedom means. We are from the promise and the hope for a better land. We are from the marching hand in hand.
I'm from Jersey, the Jersey Shore to be exact. And then I graduated from rabbinical school in New York. And then in 1986, somehow, I found myself in the Midwest, and I became a Detroiter. And now, when people ask me where I am from, I proudly say, I'm from Michigan. Who would have thunk?
We are from the garden. We are from the flood. We are from the angels singing, all you need is love. We are from the mountain and the hope blowing on the wind. We are from the Holy One within.
I am from this new backyard greenhouse, but also from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, where I first learned the power of summer camp. And I am from my grandfather, who asked, "Is it good for the Jews?" Now I am from my kitchen, where all family conversations still start and end, good or bad, with food.
I am from the violin strings that hardened my fingers with calluses. I am from the driftwood-strewn beaches of the Washington coast. I am from the flicker of the Shabbat candles. And I am from the thumbprint cookies my mother rolled in walnuts and filled with colored frosting. I am from the shadow of Mount Rainier.
I've dedicated so much of my personal study in Judaism to women in text. And like Rabbi Later, I have really struggled to find myself there. And so when we published our newest prayer book, I wrote this poem to highlight women in our tradition. It's called Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, as one word. It's a pleasure to meet you, finally to know your name. Once we were all Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, or wife of, sister of, daughter of. But now we have our own names, our own hopes, our own dreams. I can't wait to hear your story and to tell you mine. I know you were at Sinai and at the sea, but where did you go? What happened to you? Let's share our stories. I think we'll find that though we went our separate ways, I am in you and you are in me, as are Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, and every woman since. As we reach this sacred moment of memory, we recall those who've died in recent days in the period of Shloshim, the women who have played such a significant role in our tradition, and the men who have played such an integral part of our lives. We also remember those whose yahrzeits fall at this time, whose stories we have made our own, whose stories we add to the Jewish story. We remember them now with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'miran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen.
Shalom.